sometimes it's dangerous not to know how blessed you are, because other people will see your glow before you do. And when you think people are approaching you for friendship, no, they're approaching you to study you. Sometimes they're approaching you to be better than you. And the best way to be better than somebody is to get close to them.
Hey, today we are talking about friends that secretly turned into haters. And I can relate to this so freaking much because I've been in so many friendships where I've given everything I got to the friendship. Friends become sisters, kids become god kids. You know, you start doing better in your life. You want to take those friends with you. And I feel like that's when they start to show their asses the most. So I'm going to drop a couple of TikToks and then I'll come back towards the end and leave my 2 cents.
They say to keep your friends close and your what? Your enemies even closer. And there's a reason for that. People have taken down whole kingdoms doing that kind of technique. I mean, look at the country we're in. We're in England. The history books have shown how people get close to each other, even to go as far as marriages, to have bigger armies to take over people. Blood has been shed trying to be the best of the best. So what do you think the millennial version of that is? Studying someone, aka your enemy, but under the guise of saying friendship.
I want you to raise your hand if you've ever had a friend that secretly hates you. Me. And I didn't realize that this was a very universal experience until very recently. In the beginning, it genuinely feels pretty normal. I feel like they disguise themselves as supportive and all the things, and it's the tiny, tiny little microaggressions that if you're not paying attention, go completely over your head. And the comments honestly really vary. They can be about your friends, what you're wearing, what you've been up to recently. And I feel like the biggest indicator when they say these sentences, it's always like, oh, and then they lead with whatever they're gonna say. Oh, you're hanging out with this person? Oh, I definitely wouldn't do that if I were you. And the craziest part is, it's all simultaneously coupled with them adopting things that are very much you. Copying the way you dress, copying your mannerisms, maybe even going as far as dating people that are very similar to the people that you date, becoming friends with people that are very much your friends. And I think being an empathetic person, I'd find myself in situations making excuses to be like, oh, well, she just had a bad day. That's like why she said something like that. Instead of sitting there and realizing that that girl hates you. Like in my life, I met this girl last year and very, very quickly, she like latched on to me. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. You're literally telling me all about your life and I met you maybe a week ago. And I watched her interact with her other friends. Like they would call her and the way she would like roll her eyes or like make snarky little comments. But I was like, wait, we literally saw them out a couple days ago. Or you literally were just talking about how nice they were. Like there was no consistency across any board. And this should have been red flag number one. Because the way that someone speaks about their other friends in your presence is the exact same way they're gonna talk about you. Second red flag was the inconsistency. One day she'd be super hot, the next day completely cold. Like I'm talking about unfollow out of nowhere one day, then pretend they don't know you the next one other people are around. And as I sit here and reflect, I honestly think I've cracked the code. These girls aren't jealous of the things that you have, or honestly, the way that you look. What they're jealous of is your energy, your aura, your je ne sais pas quoi. The vibe that you emit and your spark shakes them so deeply to their core that they're reminded that they can do better, but choose not to. So simply put, you got these girls shook. So keep going, boo.
You know, one thing that is like really discouraging is finding out your friend really don't like you. Like they really hated you and don't fool with you. That is one thing that's kind of heartbreaking, especially when you realize like there are not a lot of genuine people in this world. And when I say genuine, I'm talking like people who are willing to support you, celebrate you, show up for you. One thing that you will notice is over time, there will be more people wanting to hear about your failures than your successes. And they will be sitting there with popcorn ready to go, oh my God, what happened next? But as soon as you have something to be celebrated, ain't nobody to talk to. And that is a lonely feeling. And this isn't one of those, oh my gosh, everybody's jealous of me. No, you can leave whatever hateful comments you want in the comment section about that. However, you would be crazy to think that this isn't a real issue. And I'm not saying that this is women, because I know hatred and jealousy have no gender. I know that men deal with it too, but it sucks. It sucks to find out that there are not a lot of genuine people, and when you do find someone that's genuine, tell them, love them, celebrate them, okay?
It took me 30 years to realize that some people will never tell you they don't like you.
This is exactly why playing dumb and playing stupid is probably one of the best things that you can do if you really want to figure out who your friend is. I do this all the freaking time. And when I tell you, these people will always rat themselves out, but you have to let that shit play out for itself. There was a girl who I used to know who did this very well. To me, I thought we had a good relationship, but she had a party one year and she decided to invite someone who was threatening me and harassing me. Now, the friend I'm talking about, she wasn't even close to this girl that she invited who hated me. When I asked her why she invited her, she said, I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal. What? And of course, that night I got into an argument with the girl that hates me. My friend knew exactly what she was doing. She was trying to stir up more animosity in my life because she secretly hated me.
I don't care what nobody say. This is how you know when a bitch is turned into a weirdo and she no longer likes you no more. Number one, she go from always comment on your stuff to only giving you compliments in the DM. Bitch, why is you sending me hard eyes in the DMs? Bitch, put it on my picture. You can't, because you be talking shit about me. And you don't want them bitches that you be talking shit about me with to see you talking to me. Because then that's going to make you look like a weird ass, fake ass bitch, which you are. But number two, you think that stuff that I say on the internet is about you. Why would you think anything I said on here is about you? You got a guilty ass conscience. Why would you think, as my friend, why would you think anything that I post is about you unprovoked? You're a weirdo. You're talking shit about me. And you think that I know that you're talking shit about me. I don't even have a fucking clue, bitch. I'm not even thinking about you. You thinking about it, you got a guilty ass conscience. You over there like, damn, maybe she know that I be talking shit about her and she responded back to me, bitch. No, it's just you. It's just you, babes. You're just a fucking creep. You're just a weirdo. It's just you.
Nothing irks me more than a girl who acts like they're cool with you, but they low-key don't like you. You can tell they don't like you by when anytime you say something, it's wrong. Everything you do is wrong. Or anytime there's a person who doesn't like you, they always try to side with them and agree with the person who doesn't like you. I remember having a friend back in high school, and everything I would say, she would try to get on my ass about it. Every person who didn't like me, she always tried to become friends with them or always tried to side with them against me. I could say, oh, look at the sky, it's baby blue. And this bitch will respond with, actually, it's not baby blue, it's giving more turquoise. Like, it don't matter what I would say or what I would do. It was just always wrong. And that's a strong indicator that the friend that you have does not like you. They will let other people talk bad about you in front of them, and they'll either jump in and agree or they won't say anything and not tell you. And the craziest part is that it secretly could be out of jealousy or they're insecure or they just want what you have. They envy you. I see this a lot in girl friendships, and it's so sad because these girls will literally act like they're your friend or they're cool with you, and they secretly just don't like you. And it's like, damn, just be my friend. Why you gotta be a hater? But yeah, I've had that happen to me so much that I've learned to pinpoint those behaviors, and then when I see it, I just let them alone.
I just want to talk to you guys really quick because I usually never talk on here, but whatever. So I want to point out some obvious signs that your friends are haters, because a lot of us, like myself, are very oblivious to this because we like to see the best in individuals, especially people that we call our friends, right? So number one for me would be, if you're out and you're receiving love, you're receiving compliments, you look really good that day, that person is extremely uncomfortable. Typically, they're the one in the corner rolling their eyes, super silent, because they're uncomfortable with you receiving any sort of recognition for how good you look, because they have a lot of internalized issues with themselves that they probably need to work out with a therapist. Number two, if you give them compliments, you're never going to get a compliment back. You could literally be looking like Beyonce that day. They're never going to compliment you back because somehow it's a shot at their pride. Number three, they'll purposely take ugly ass pictures of you, and when you ask them to retake them, they'll get an attitude with you. Number four, okay, so the last one would be that person is starting to mimic you. They're copying how you talk, how you dress, how you walk, everything. Their demeanor is slowly shifting into one that's very similar to yours. That is not a compliment. A lot of people think that that's a compliment, but no, that person hates you.
Y'all know something we don't talk about enough is long-term friendships that don't like you. So I know we talk about in marriages and long-term relationships how people will be married in long-term relationships with people that don't like them. Like a lot of husbands will marry a trophy wife or marry a wife that's gorgeous or pretty, or she looks good on his arm, or he feel like he just went up from an aesthetic standpoint, but genuinely does not like the woman, does not like his wife, does not, and I think wives do it too. And I think same thing in queer relationships. I think people will be in relationships with people they do not like. We always talk about it from a romantic sense, but we never talk about friendships that you're with for years where the person just does not like you. They think you're the life of the party. They think that you have an aesthetic that works with their friend group. You're cute. You dress cute. You know where the best restaurants are, your vibe, whatever. But deep down, they don't like your perspective on things. They don't like the advice you give. They hate to hear you vent or talk for too long. They don't really care about a lot of your interpersonal problems. They don't care about your family, things like that. They don't actually like you. They don't like you. And as I get older, I really want to start being more in tune with the people that do not like me. I feel like for the best human life experience, it's better to be around people that like you than people that don't like you. I don't want a partner that does not like me. I don't want friends that do not like me. Y'all are the ops. That's really to me, that's truly the definition of keep your enemies close. I don't want my enemies close. Get away. But a lot of y'all are out here. Friends with people y'all do not like, and it's weird. It's so freaking weird. I'm not going to be friends with people I don't vibe with, I don't like. The moment I don't like you, I'm already thinking about how I can end the friendship. But if some of y'all will be friends with people for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and not like them, it blows me. But it's like you like to use people and you like to use them for their aesthetic and things. But everybody, let's start being more in tune and let's try to pay attention to people that dismiss you, people that don't want to hear your feelings, people that never want to take your advice and never want to hear your thought process, people that shames your way of life, your perspective on life. Those are not your friends and they don't like you.
Y'all ever been friends with somebody who low-key don't like you? Like, deep down, they moving funny. I have so many friends who've been low-key haters, and these are the things that they typically do when they don't like you like that. I think the first one for me is always gonna be them backhanded compliment. People who are haters, they will find any way to insult you, take a jab at you, hurt your feelings, and then laugh it off like it's a joke. But be for real. They'll try to make you feel like you're not that girl, you just mad basic, mad blah. And it's just you're supposed to be my friend. We're supposed to be gassing each other up. Why are you hating for it? The next time for me is when they don't invite you out to places. They purposely leave you out and exclude you from everything. They'll invite everybody out to a little social gathering. They will purposely exclude you. They make it their life mission to exclude you from things and to make you feel left out. The third one for me is going to be something I like to call energy vampires. They will suck the living daylights out of you when it comes to asking you for help. They basically use you. They use you for everything, but when you ask them, to reciprocate, they're gone. You cannot find them. They pull a Houdini. Adios. In my personal opinion, a friendship should be mutual. It shouldn't be one person just taking, and one person just giving. We should equally pour and take out of each other. Y'all make sure you're not friends with no hater. That's not cute. You don't need them in your life. You're not nobody's fan. They're not a celebrity. You're not chasing up behind them. Just get rid of them and keep it pushing. Okay?
So I can relate to all of these TikToks so much because, like I said in the beginning, I have been in situations where I get so excited about my friends, good things happening with them, or I'm so excited about life. You know what I mean? And then they do some fuck shit and they show me that I don't really rock with you like that. I know you think I like you, but I don't like you. Or, one thing my daddy always told me was when friendships start to go sour, actually look at when you became this person's friend, because a lot of the time you just be in a friendship for too long. People outgrow people all the time. And I know I used to watch my auntie and her friends, and I used to think that the longer that you knew somebody, the longer that you should have a friendship with them. And as I got older, I realized that wasn't the thing at all, because she a lot of them friends that was her friends because they had known each other for 30-something years, whatever, they didn't like each other like that. I think they just stuck around out of comfort. Like, they weren't, I don't think they really truly knew each other like that. Like, you know, somebody would share good news, and it would just be like hella animosity, or, you know, they would talk to each other about what was going on, and the responses were dry. You know, I've had so-called friends, you know, come in and literally try to sabotage anything that I had going. Like, I had a friend that we were both hairstylists, and she, when I came out with my edge control, you know, she was publicly supportive, but in private, she was dogging me out. I had another friend in the same industry as me, and we were talking about how business was slow, and I was like, you know, I don't mind like shooting some of my clients to you, like, and she was offended by that. Stop being my friend. You know, I've had friends where when the minute that something goes wrong for me and I can't be available to them, they stop being my friend. You know, I have friends where when things are going good in my life, you know, things start to look up for me, you know, they can't get jiggy with what I got going on. Like, it's really disappointing, you know, especially when you start talking about, you know, you getting close to people's kids. Like, that is even more hurtful, because I'm a person that, like, even if me and you ain't talking, like, I still care about your kids, but they know that that'll hurt you, so they take them away as well, you know. Another thing that I could relate to is when they were talking about how, like, people, they start to mimic you, they start to do what you're doing, they copying your swag pretty much, because it's like, they say that imitation is the best form of flattery, but sometimes it's not even imitation. It's literally like they're trying to be you. Like, there was this girl that I was friends with, and we worked in the same industry. And literally, like, if I did my beehive a certain way, hers had to look like that. Or if I did a video of me showing like a before and after, she had to edit hers the same way. I literally, like, my very first oil, because you guys know my name is YouPass, like, so my very first oil was called Liquid Gold. It wasn't even called Slay Grow yet. I ended up changing the name because I didn't realize how many other companies had a Liquid Gold, right? So she creates her own oil and calls it Slay Crack. There's not the word slay in your name whatsoever. Slay is not even in your business model whatsoever. Or, you know, you have people around you that, even though, like, you may be appreciative for your life, but even though, you know, you're not where you want to be, they want your life. And I had a girl that I used to be friends with where, and I had to learn to stop doing this too, but, like, let's say that I was having issues or problems in my relationship, and I would come to her, you know, on some, like, you know, tell me if I'm wrong type shit, right? And the way that she would get passionate about, like, trying to tell me about my situation with my husband, and it wasn't like, you know, like, friend, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you was wrong here. No, like, y'all, this girl would literally be yelling at me to the point where, like, I had to tell my husband, like, I need to make sure that, like, y'all ain't got nothing going on the way she acting, because she a little too passionate and invested. So I totally get it, and it sucks when it happens, but like I said in the previous video, like, when you pray that prayer, get ready, because God gonna start revealing, and it's gonna be people where you're like, wow, really, you? Like, I'd have never thought it was you. Yeah, well, they be the one that you never thought that's gonna never, like they never did before. But anyways, y'all, that's all I have for y'all today. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.